In this week's episode, we have 2 long drive days before we make it to Kansas City. Well, Tony Tao, we are 7 hours into our 8-hour day of driving. How's you feel?
Tired.
Yeah, me too. I'm not a fan of these 8-hour days. But once we're there, we discovered that Missouri has some amazing bourbon. All right, Tony Tao, so the last one was ride. This one is wheat. And we get a little maintenance done on the Brinkley. So I got this from Amazon. It's just 25 feet of this screw rail trim. Well, good morning, kids. Welcome to Albuquerque. We are leaving this morning now that we got our brakes all fixed and ready to go. The next 2 days are going to be really long drive days because we're trying to blast into Kansas City for a couple of reasons. One, we really miss our kids. We really miss Mike and Vanessa, and we want to get there on the date that we had originally planned to get there. But that does mean we lost one stop. So now we have 2 8-hour drive days. Today we're
8 hours today and 6 hours tomorrow.
6 hours tomorrow?
Well, 6.5.
6.5, okay. So, but 2 long drive days for us. We usually don't like to go more than 6 hours. Today we are up to Burlington, Colorado, which is right on the border of Colorado and Kansas. And then tomorrow we're blasting all the way through Kansas to Kansas City. The other reason we want to get there soon is because there's storms coming.
Thank you, Joel and Tanya, for the heads up.
Yes, Joel called me yesterday and said, hey, have you been watching Ryan Hall? Because there's supposed to be storms coming into Kansas City. Those storms are supposed to hit Monday with a chance of tornadoes. So we want to get into Kansas City by Saturday so that we can get ahead of those storms. If there is a possibility of tornadoes, we'll just go to the house and hunker down in the basement. And if a tornado hits and takes out my trailer, that's Progressive's problem at that point.
True.
Right? One quick travel tip for you. If you're a dude like me that keeps your wallet in your back pocket and you know you're going to drive like 7-8 hours, don't do that. Just throw it on the dashboard or something, because for me, I always forget to do that. And then about 5 hours into the drive, I'm like, my butt hurts.
It's because you're easily butt hurt.
That's Tony Tao. She'll be here all week at the KOA Chuckle Hut. Remember, tipping
is not a city in China.
Ba-dum-bum. All right, and on that funny note, we're hitting the road. We will see you somewhere along the road. Let's go. Gracie, you ready to go?
You ready to go bye-bye?
She's ready. Let's go. Shai Halud, the spice must flow. Tony Tao's got her Snackle Box. I made up a Snackle Box jingle.
Oh boy.
You want to hear my Snackle Box jingle?
Sure.
You can store anything except bagels and lox. What is it? It's Tony Tao's Snackle Box. What do you think, Gracie? You need anything from the Snackle Box, ma'am?
There's
need
no
any
beef
Snackle Box
jerky,
stuff?
so she's kind of.
We don't have jerky.
No jerky.
Sorry, ma'am. No jerky in the Snackle Box.
Very particular on her travel day snacks.
Well, Tony Tao, we are 7 hours into our 8-hour day of driving. How's you feel?
Tired.
Yeah, me too. I'm not a fan of these 8-hour days.
I'm okay with 6 hours.
Yeah.
It is the last 2 hours of an 8-hour drive. You're just like, fudge.
Yeah. Well, we're in eastern Colorado. It looks like that. Just flat, straight. Well, hello, kids, and welcome to Burlington, but not the beautiful fall colors Burlington in Vermont. We are in Burlington, Colorado.
Which is right on the border of Kansas.
It's a very small town. Do you know how you know you're in a small town?
No.
Because it smells like a feedlot. But it's only an overnight. We have one night here.
Full hookups are $35.
Cash only, though.
Cash only, and it is right next to the freeway.
It is right next to the freeway. The one thing I don't like about this park is to get out, to pull out, you have to drop off of a curb. So it's just a small RV park that has some pull-through sites. That's where I'm parked. There's a curb right there. And as y'all know, with the Brinkleys, those back landing gear, those back jacks sit real close to the ground. And I really don't want to come off of that curb and take out a jack. So I think instead of pulling straight out, I'm going to try and back it out and see if there's a way to get out to the side street without having to drop down that curb. So around the back of the rig, it's a pretty wide area. I could back right out there and then go down this way. We got here, I went under the rig to check on those caliper bolts. I am happy to say, Tony Tao, that they are Bavarian torque spec approved. Do you know what that is?
No.
That means they're good and tight. Dad jokes for days. So we're just having one old fashioned in a Bucky's cup.
One old fashioned.
And we need to toast to an RV god. And I think that I'm gonna make up a new RV god. The newest RV god is Torquendra, the goddess of proper torque specification.
Yeah.
Cheers, Torquendra.
Her
Thank
little
you.
pet Loctite.
And
Her little mascot Loctite.
her mascot Loctite Red.
Yeah.
All right.
So
cheers.
we're gonna drink this, and then we're just gonna crawl. And it's kind of cold too, so we're just gonna crawl into bed.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I'm so tired after 8 hours of
It
driving.
was a long day. Gracie's tired too.
All right. Cheers.
Back to sweater for her.
So what?
I heard you say you like to feel the ocean on your bare feet when the tide is overflowing, and you wonder what it's like out on the planet's other side. I said, who knows what we can find out in a blink. Don't you know that we could see the world together? We could ride the wind forever now.
There's Tony Tao with our chicken. Gracie girl, you gotta move so Mom can get in. I guess we're just gonna eat chicken sandwiches waiting for this guy to get back to his truck.
At the time of our lives, set a course and we can fly anywhere we set our eyes.
So Tony Tao, we just crossed into Wyandotte County, Kansas City.
There's the NASCAR track,
There's a NASCAR track.
which is right next to where my son works. He's working today. I'm waving at him as we go by. He works at Sporting KC.
So how's it feel? Be back in Kansas City.
It feels like I'm coming home.
Yeah.
San Diego no longer feels like home. This feels like home.
Yeah, because our kids are here.
Our house is here. Our future is here. So it does feel like I love it. I'm excited. I get excited every time I come to Kansas City.
Guten Tag, señoras. Welcome to Sunday here in Kansas City. What are we doing today, Tony Tao?
You're going to a distillery.
Distillery tour with a friend. His name is Craig Nielsen. He does have a YouTube channel in the photography space. He's a photographer. So we're going to go meet him and his wife because they live here in Kansas City. They're actually over in Parkville. So it's a chance to meet up with somebody that I've chatted with online and now get to meet in person. All right, we'll see you at the distillery. Well, this is flippin' gorgeous up here. It's almost like a Kentucky distillery. As we were driving in, it was like there was horse farms coming up into here. Absolutely gorgeous. Tours to the right, cocktails to the left.
Throughout our tour today, we're going to go through basically our bourbon production cycle. From the grains and the water that we start with, all the way through to the finished product in the bottle that you guys get to enjoy. Something really key to bourbon production in general, and something that makes this site unique, is limestone water. We're lucky enough to have 7 natural limestone springs around our property. The limestone is first pulling iron out of the water, and I'm sure you guys know, water, iron, a little bit of time, what do you get? Rust. And we don't want rusty bourbon, right?
Oh, that smell is awesome.
So we should all know, all bourbon is whiskey, right? But not all whiskey is bourbon. So to be a bourbon, basically you have to follow these guidelines to go above and beyond. We call them the ABCs of bourbon. Anybody know what the A stands for in the ABCs of bourbon? America. You got it. Made in America. Just like Scotch for Scotland, tequila for Mexico, bourbon is our national spirit. So it just needs to be produced in any of the 50 states. A for made in America. B. Any guesses on B? Barrels. What kind of barrels?
New charred oak, yeah.
New charred oak. So, of course, new meaning you can't reuse your barrel. So you have to use a new barrel every time for bourbon. C. Corn. How much corn? 51. Hey, you guys are crushing it. 51% corn is the requirement. We have our two different bourbon mash bills that we're producing. We have our 1856 original, which is our rye mash bill, and we have our soft red wheat. That's our wheat mash bill. They're both 73% corn, both 12% malted barley, just 15% rye versus 15% wheat. So next thing we're going to talk through is fermentation. We cook our grains separately, which is kind of unique in the industry. A lot of places cook them together. It kind of maintains those individual flavor notes, like especially that sweet corn flavor comes through in our bourbon. And that might be one of the reasons why. In here in these fermentation tanks, we're adding the cooked grains, the limestone spring water, and that yeast, and letting the yeast do its thing, work its magic. We're doing 3-day open top fermentation. Sometimes we'll have the windows open, we'll have the door open. We want all that natural flora and fauna in the air, all that goodness kind of getting in here and mixing with our fermentation. So we want that open top. We want everything in here. It basically makes our batch unique. Welcome to the cave. This is where Ben Holladay was aging all of his bourbon. All of our nice, big, tall rick houses were all built throughout the 1900s and more recently, so he didn't have those nice, big rick houses. He was aging everything in here in the cave. Today, we're just doing secondary finishing in here in the cave. Throughout the past 2 or 3 years, we've been releasing very, very small batches of secondary finished bourbon. You do the standard process like we talked about in the still house, throw it in the rick house, let it age for 6 years in the rick house, and then you pull that barrel out of the rick house, you pull the bourbon out of that barrel, and you put it into a new second barrel with something different going on, like a different type of wood, like French oak or chinkapin. We've done a toasted barrel, which is like putting your barrel in the oven and baking it before you use it. We've done a smoked finish. We did Applewood smoked for Applefest in Weston. Whenever you guys are ready, come on up, grab a Glen. I try to be fair with my pours, but they're not exact. So if you see one you want, come grab it. Don't let anyone tell you how to drink your bourbon, right? Bourbon is meant to be enjoyed, meant to be shared with friends and family. If you like it neat, if you like it on the rocks, if you like a little splash of water in there, enjoy your bourbon however you enjoy your bourbon, right? Don't let anyone tell you how to drink your bourbon. Next thing I'm going to do is tell you guys how to drink your bourbon. First thing first, it's not wine. Please don't treat it like wine. It's a high proof spirit. Do not swirl it quickly in your Glen. If you do that, the ethanol is going to bubble up to the top. You're just going to get burned when you go to smell it or taste it. What I want you to do is basically roll it in the bottom of your Glen. These are called Glen Cairns, or Glen for short. Roll it with one hand in the bowl of the Glen. You can take 2 hands, roll it back and forth with 2, right? Everybody go ahead and take a small sip. Cheers. Cheers. So that one was our 100 proof rye. Next up, we've got our 100 proof wheat. So this is soft red wheat, bottle and bond. Same proof, same age, just 15% wheat going in instead of 15% rye.
All right, Tony Tal. So the last one was rye. This one is wheat.
Close.
Bottle and bond,
Sweeter.
soft red wheat.
It does smell sweeter. Take a sip. Tell me what you think.
Take your time. Take your time. Let her smell like
Honey or
What is it?
honey?
Oh, more honey?
Just because that's
See, I think it's weird that he mentioned earlier that the wheated one's going to be softer.
Do you feel it's not?
I feel it's, for me, it's more got more of a burn. It's good. All of their bourbons here so far have been amazing.
We were pleasantly surprised to find such great bourbon in our new hometown. And thank you, Craig and Shelley, for showing it all to us.
Well, good morning, kids, and welcome to another day in Kansas City. Today is a maintenance day. I had a piece of trim. It's screw rail trim. You basically have screw rail along your RV, and this is for one that is a screw rail on top of the forward awning on our Z3100. The stuff looks like this. It's just plastic, kind of rubbery plastic. We had an issue with the one above our front awning. it screws in on either end, and the screws backed out on both sides. So this was like sliding out. So this right here is this trim. It's just plastic trim. And there's this screw right here used to go into this right here, but it's come out. So I got this from Amazon. It's just 25 feet of this screw rail trim, and I'm gonna replace the stuff that's up there. I could probably reuse this piece of trim, but I don't think I want to. Since I've got new trim, I'm just gonna replace the whole thing. It's real simple. It just kind of pulls right out. It's not anything difficult to deal with. It's hard to do this while holding a camera at the same time. All right, so it's out. And you can see there's just screws all the way down this. It's what holds this awning in place. So we're gonna put a new piece in there, and we're gonna screw down either end. And I'm also going to put some caulking in the screw holes as I pull the screws out and put them back in, just to make sure no water gets in there. So the first thing I want to do is just make sure I got the right size here. So I'm going to get the old piece and kind of put them together and make sure that they're the same. There's the old piece, there's the new piece, they're the same size. Here's where we need to slide it through, and I'm going to pull this screw out to kind of help us with that. Make sure I'm going the right way. Yeah. All right, that's that end screw. And it had sealant on it, so good on you, Brinkley, for putting the sealant on those. So I don't think we're gonna be able to put it in here and slide it all the way down. I think we're gonna have to kind of drop it in, put the bottom in, and then kind of bend it and get that top to pop in. That worked. So I think we're just gonna have to work this all the way down. Now the question is, where is that? So I need to get a marker so I can put a little mark on this so I know where that screw hole is. Or do I need to? I probably need to drill a pilot hole. Let me get a little drill and do this the right way. Stand by. Got a drill bit. I also brought up a little bit of silicone so we could shoot some in that hole before we put the screw back in, just to make sure everything's sealed. Let me swap this out. All right. I'm gonna shoot a little bit of silicone into it. There we go. The top and bottom of this is in that groove. Now where's that screw hole? There it is. All right, so that's the screw that holds it in place. This is the top and bottom of the rails, and we're just gonna have to work this in all the way down to the other side. I'm gonna leave you here, and I'm just gonna work my way down. I'm sure I'll speed this up when I edit it together, but this will just give me a starting point and give you a visual. So I'm kind of just pushing the bottom in and then folding it over and working the top in. Good thing I got some fingernails, because I'm kind of using them to push this down and under. I'm betting this would be a little easier on a warmer day when this trim is a little more squishy. So a couple quick things. I'm gonna put a link to this trim down in the show notes. I'll also drop a a QR code over here somewhere. I got it off of Amazon. When I first looked it up on Amazon, it looked like the only thing that you could buy, hold on, there's a hair right there on the lens. It looked like the only thing that you could buy was like 100-foot section of this. And I didn't need a 100-foot section, but if you click on the product and go into it, then you can select different lengths. And so I just got a 25-foot length. So that was more than enough. I mean, it goes to the end, and then I've got some extra hanging down here. The other thing, I'm a horrible ass salesman because I just now realized, what am I wearing? I'm wearing one of our RV Sunsets hoodies. It's the Don't Waste Any Sunsets hoodies. And there's also t-shirts with it, and I've got some bags with it. If you look down below, you'll see a list of the different products that we offer. We offer some of these. We also offer some of our RV gods and goddesses coffee mugs. So you can look at that down there too. You know, if you like something, buy it. It gives us a little bit of beer money and a little bit of fuel money for this year. All right, let's finish this thing up. Let's take my fancy smancy Office Depot skizzers here and cut this sucker to fit. Perfect. Actually, it's a little long. Let me cut a little more off of it. That's better. That came out. Looks like there's a little bit of rust on there. I don't like seeing that, but we're gonna fill that hole with some silicone anyways. Let's slide this down a little. All right, before we go too far, let me get some silicone in that hole. Let's get this in here. We want to drill a hole through right here. That definitely went in. I got some of my silicone, hold on. I'm gonna put a little more silicone in there because that dabbed some of it out. Not really going into this hole so much, so let's just put a little bit on the screw itself. That actually might not have been the best idea because it still has to go through this plastic, so I probably should have put it through the plastic first. It gets tight down here on the end, especially now that I got slippery silicone on everything. Okay, let's go there, there, and then where's the hole at? There's the hole. Probably getting my new fancy smancy hoodie all dirty. There we go. So I think our screw rail trim project is done. It's all screwed back in there, siliconed up. It's all the way in, all the way down there. So the way I've discovered that this was having an issue was I looked up here towards the awning one day and I noticed there was a piece of plastic, that piece of plastic, that was sitting out to about here. And I thought it was something from the awning coming out, but it wasn't. It was just this screw rail trim. And that's a super easy fix. So the thing I want to stress to you about this project and all of these projects that we do on our fifth wheel is that this is not rocket science. This is not a space shuttle sitting behind me. How did I learn about screw rail trim and how to replace it and fix it? I found it on the YouTubes. I know some of you were sitting back there going, I'm just not a mechanically inclined person. It scares me or worries me about getting into RVing because I'm not mechanically inclined. You really don't have to be. I'm not a mechanic, I'm a damn video producer, shooter, editor. I'm learning this stuff through YouTube. You can learn it as well. Are you gonna make some mistakes? Yeah, and you're gonna learn from those mistakes, and then you'll know how to do it the next time, and the next time, and the next time. So again, the takeaway, just have some confidence in your ability to do this stuff. It's not that difficult. All right, I'm gonna wrap all of this stuff up because that's it. That's all of my maintenance I have to do for today.